What is going on, everyone? If you guys are Pokemon Game Boy game collectors or players, I want you guys to lock in and listen to the rest of this video. If not, you guys can get lost. I mean, if you want the information, you can stick around, but you need to already own and play Game Boy games for this video to apply to you specifically. Or honestly, if you want to play the Game Boy games, but you don't have a Game Boy, but you want to go buy the game and then not buy a Game Boy, I guess this also applies to you. So with that out of the way, I'm going to be explaining to you what the Epilogue Playback Game Boy Operator is, and what it does, and why I think all of my fellow Game Boy collectors and players should own one. So this device allows you to play and manipulate the games that you are playing on a computer. So you don't need a Game Boy if you have one of these, technically. You can just plug this into your computer and play all of your games on a big screen with a keyboard. That's one reason I love it already, is because it's way more comfortable to play on a keyboard and a big screen than it is to play on the little handheld with A and B buttons literally an inch apart from each other, right? Yeah, so you plug it into your laptop or your computer and you download the software, and then it will allow you to play the games. Now, to start on why I think every collector of Game Boy games should own one is purely off of the reason of the reassurance and knowing that your games are authentic when you buy them from someone or a game store or eBay or wherever you're buying your games from. You can plug it in and it will tell you if your cart is authentic or not, which is crucial, especially when you're spending all this money on your Pokemon games and your old Zelda games and all that stuff. They get expensive, so don't go wasting your money on fakes, because fakes get better every year too. So I will show you guys what that looks like. So here is the software pulled up on my laptop, and I'm going to plug in my authentic version of Pokemon Fire Red that I know is authentic. And if I can just zoom in here, it will tell you the type of cartridge, which is read-only, and it will tell you if it is an official cartridge. So that is just one thing I think is crucial for collectors that are spending all this money. You need to verify that your games are real, right? I don't have any fake games with me, but if I put in a fake game, it'll say unofficial cartridge. I have bought the Walmart, pack of 5 Game Boy game Pokemon games. Everyone reads unofficial. All of my games that I know are real, they read official. So just, having that reassurance as a consumer is really helpful, especially when you consider the device is only $50. So you make the mistake of buying a fake game once, depending on what game it is, that's 2 times, 3 times the investment of just buying the Epilogue right now and then verifying. So, another reason collectors should have one of these is because you can save the game to your laptop or your computer. Meaning, if you have an emulator and not the cartridge, you can still run the game. So it's kind of like owning the game digitally and in the cartridge, if that makes sense. Not that you can just go buy the ROM. That's a ROM. That's not the game. It's kind of different. I don't even know the difference, but all right, so if you guys made it here, we're here. Why you should own an Epilogue for gaming reasons. There are a lot of them. First of all, makes playing any game way more comfortable, like I already mentioned, on a keyboard and a big screen than a small screen and a handheld. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys the laptop POV, and boom. All right, we are on the laptop POV, and we're going to get straight into it. All right, so when you boot up the Epilogue software, you have play and you have data. Okay, play is how you'll be obviously playing the game that you have installed into your Epilogue. It'll tell you all the official stuff, give a synopsis, the title, all that good stuff, and to just play it, you'll press start. So the first thing I love about playing in the Epilogue is fast forwarding. Fast forwarding makes playing all games a lot faster. If they have dialogue like Pokemon does, it makes it a lot easier to get through. Especially movement. I mean, just look at how fast I can move. This is the walking, and then that's literally 2 lines of dialogue in not even a second. Let's turn off fast forward. This is the run speed. This is the walk speed, which is crazy slow. And let's see how fast. So, I mean, off those 2 lines of dialogue, it's kind of hard to tell, but I feel like it's still noticeable. The fast forward is majorly helpful. Second reason I love the Epilogue is if I save here in my game on the Epilogue, and then I take the Epilogue, or I take my cartridge out of the Epilogue after it's done doing the lights. Don't ever pull it out if it's doing the lights. If you take it out, I will show you guys me playing on my Game Boy. Alrighty, so we're going to try for an all-in-one cut here. The audio might be a little weird. We take it out of the Epilogue into the Game Boy, load it up. I'm just going to show you guys we are in the same save. See how much slower it is even without fast forward. And we're here. So, yep, pretty cool. You can go from the Epilogue to your Game Boy. Let's go to the corner. And back to your Epilogue. And the save will stay on the cartridge. So those are the 2 main play features, fast forwarding and the ability to save and switch from the Epilogue to the Game Boy and back again. Now let's get into the data manipulation and all of that fun stuff, okay? So if you open up data, you got backup game, upload homebrew, backup save, upload save, and your photo gallery. That is where your screenshots will be placed if you're taking screenshots, right? So backup game, this is what I was talking about earlier for the collectors. If you back up the game, you have the code, you have the actual game saved to your device. Pretty cool. You can open that in the emulator, or you can open up that game in general and start to rewrite the code and make your own game. A lot of stuff you can do with that. I don't really mess with that. I back up my games, but that's pretty much it. I just let them sit in a save file. Now, this is where I think the Epilogue really shines. Backup and upload save. So, as we just saw, I was on my pretty much complete 124, I think, Pokédex, 8 gem badges, lots of hours. That was the save we were just on. So I'm going to upload my Charmander save to the cartridge, and I'm going to show you that save. You guys will start to understand what I am getting at once I open it up. But so this save is brand new and has nothing on it, and I am planning on getting a Charmander to evolve into eventually a Charizard. Oh, I'm not even into the Professor Oaks yet. So this is a brand new save file, and that is on the cartridge right now. So if I pull that out and put it in my Game Boy, it's going to be in the very beginning of the game, like how I have it on my Epilogue, right? But if I get out of here, I don't know why I did that, and I go to data, and I upload save, and I click start, I can just throw that almost complete save right back onto the cartridge. So let me show you what that is looking like. And bang, we have our almost complete Pokédex, our 8 hours, 8 gem badges, all that good stuff, right? So, you're asking me, why is this useful? What does this do for me? I'm going to get into that now. So, being able to save and upload save files to a cartridge is helpful for multiple reasons. And the ones that come off the top of my head are shiny hunting and for living dexes. Now, if you don't know what a living dex is in Pokemon, it's basically where you have every single version of the Pokemon, not unlocked, but caught. So, if there's 151 Pokemon in Kanto, that means you need all 151 in your box, right? So think about that. There's 3 starters that each have 3 different evolutions. That's 9 times you need to play the game, because you can only get 1 starter. But I need 1 Bulbasaur, 1 Ivysaur, and 1 Venusaur. So that's 3 gameplays already. And then Kanto specifically, you are gifted either one or the other fighting Pokemon, Hitmonchan or Hitmonlee. So that's 2 gameplays. And then you think about the fossils, that's another 2. Think about the roaming legendaries, that's another 3. So you need to play the game multiple times to even think of acquiring a living dex, whether that be you play it just barely, and you get just evolve your Ivysaur and then trade it away, but you still need to play the game 9 times. You need to have 9 save files, because if you do all of one and then rewrite it on the cartridge, you're screwed. All of that progress is gone. You're not going to be able to do anything, right? So eventually, what I'm going to do to summarize all of this, I'm going to complete a fire red save all the way up to where I can, and then I'm going to restart and do all of what I can again. So if I got Hitmonchan, I'm going to get Hitmonlee. I'll evolve Charmander all the way up to Charizard. I'll get the other fossil. I'll do all the opposite stuff I did the first time, right? Save that. Do it again for Blastoise. Do it again for every single evolution. Eventually get everything I need. And then upload that save back onto the cartridge and trade it to a different cartridge so that it is away. It is off. It is gone, right? And eventually I'll be able to summarize the living dex onto 1 cartridge. It's literally impossible unless you have someone. If you have 2 games, maybe that would be way easier. But even still, you gotta play the game multiple times, because you gotta evolve at least 3 starters all the way, right? Proving my point. Now, the second reason I think the saving manipulation stuff is handy for especially Pokemon players is shiny hunting. If you want to shiny hunt for, say, a starter, but you have already played the game all the way through, you can just save your save file, reset the game, and then go to Professor Oaks, save there, and then now you have just a save spot. You have a save file for shiny hunting. You can just boot that up whenever you want to shiny hunt and rip attempts, right? But if you wanted to go back into your main game with everything already caught and all your badges, you can just boot that back up and you have both. One last thing that I think is very cool with the save manipulation stuff is you can take your save, put it into a software, I forget what it's called, but I did this, and upload events to get different Pokemon. So in Gen 3, Pokemon like Deoxys, Mew, Latias and Latios, Ho-Oh and Lugia are all hidden behind tickets that you use on the ship, right? You can upload those tickets by saving your game file and then uploading it and then putting it back onto the cartridge. It's technically like hacking it in, or not hacking, but it's not authentic like it is like if you went to GameStop back in 2005, but it's the only way you can do it now. Obviously, there's other ways to do it, but to do it on a real cartridge, you need a cart reader, and that is what the Epilogue is. So yeah, that was my summary of the Epilogue Playback GameBoy Operator, and why I think every Game Boy player, Pokemon player, should own one. Like, comment, subscribe. If you got any comments, if you got any questions, leave them down below. I'll try to get to you guys. Thank you for watching if you watched all the way through.